Hey, this is LeAnne Carswell with the Expert Real Estate Team. I don't know about how much y'all know about me, but I love staying cutting edge. I love staying on top of things. And I wanted you guys to be the first to know and learn about it. So if you own a home, if you are thinking of buying, if you are thinking of selling, this stuff would be really important to you right now. I know we're all hunkering down because of the coronavirus, but I really feel passionate about getting this information out to you. So I'm going to share my screen, and this is from the same company that I go through my monthly market reports with. They have phenomenal information to help us understand what's going on in the world and what's going on in the market. So one thing that I'll tell you in the next few slides, I'm not going to pretend to understand the treasury rate and the 30-year mortgage rate, and normally they go in unison over the past 50 years. That's what has been happening. Well, I can tell you here lately they've kind of started to separate, and basically, I'm going to read this to you. As evidenced by recent events, often the spread increases because mortgage refinance application processing capacity cannot meet demand. So basically, you're centered up. Basically, people are out there trying to refinance their homes in mass, and it's overwhelming the system, which, just happens. So lender offered rates don't follow the treasury yield down 1-for-1. So while mortgage rate has declined in response to the decline in yields, it's unlikely to fall by the same magnitude as the treasury level, or as the treasury yield. It is plausible that mortgage rates will fall further if the benchmark 10-year treasury bonds continue to decline further. It is reasonable to expect that rates will fall even further and likely surpass the prior record, but not necessarily 1-for-1 with the treasury yield. So these are people that are smarter than me, I can tell you that. But basically what we're seeing, rates went down. They popped up at the beginning of the week from they hit 3.29. They did pop up to 4%. And we were being told that was because of all the people wanting to get refinances and whatnot. And what I told you then was, if you're thinking of refinancing your home loan, go ahead and get your paperwork into the lender. So when it does settle out and maybe even get back down to that 3.29%, they'll be ready to lock your rate and save you all that money. So keep those things in mind. So this I thought was super interesting. How has the housing market been impacted by previous stock market crashes? So in 07 to 09, the S&P had a correction by 51%. During those 3 years, the housing prices only depreciated 4 dip to 10%. So doesn't look all that bad. When the stock market crashed, it didn't affect housing prices all that much. So another slide that I think is really important with everything that's going on currently, what 9/11 has in common with what's happening today is that the shock has generated fear, angst, and anxiety amongst the general public. People avoided crowds when they believed another terrorist attack was coming and are acting the same way to avoid getting sick. The same parts of the economy are under pressure: airlines, leisure, hospitality, restaurants, entertainment, consumer discretionary services in general. So this I thought was a phenomenal slide. So during the dot-com crash and the 9/11 crash, in 2000 to 2002, things went down 45%. Housing prices actually increased. So just because the stock market goes down doesn't mean housing prices go down too. This is something that I'm preaching very heavily, that a recession does not equal a housing crisis. Honestly, when all this is over and we all get out and around some more, we're going to be going gangbusters because it's going to be pent-up demand is what we're seeing. So with the sudden economic stop and with many states shutting down by closing down bars, schools, and restaurants, my view is the U.S. economy is now in a recession, started this month. The GDP will decline sharply in Q2, and the length of the recession will depend on the course of the pandemic. And this is what Goldman Sachs is forecasting right now. So we're going to go down, but things will come back, which I think is what the president's saying. According to the Wells Fargo Investment Institute, we do not expect a repeat of the severe recession of 08 and 09 because the virus and oil shocks are not endemic to the financial system, but are rather external. Once the virus infection rate peaks, we expect the recovery to regain momentum and into the final quarter of the year and into 2021. So this, I love this slide. So home price changes in the last 5 recessions, and y'all may have seen this slide from me before. In the last 5 recessions, it's gone up three times. So home prices go up sometimes during recessions. So 3 of the last 5. So I think it's really, really encouraging, especially if you think that, the sky's falling. So foreclosures, we may see some foreclosures, but the Federal Housing Administration has kind of put a moratorium on foreclosures for the next 60 days. Same thing for the Federal Housing Finance Agency. So that's interesting. And then this, as far as refinancing goes, so those of you who think we're headed for another bust, this I think will kind of tell a different picture. So back then, 5, 6, and 7, people were taking money out of their houses to go on extravagant vacations and buy cars and jet skis and whatnot to the tune of $824 billion. So far in 17, 18, and 19, we've just done a fraction of that at $232 billion. So I think that's really important for you to know. Historically, your housing as a portion of your payment has been 21.2%. Well, we're right now with interest rates being so low, it's only 14.8% of your income. So that leaves a lot of money for savings, for paying down extra, for other things that are important to you and your family. So again, I think these were a few important slides for you to see, and I wanted to share it and get it out to you. So if you're interested, if you need to talk to us, reach out to us. If you need a lender to help you do your refinancing, reach out to us. We are as busy as ever. We may have to change things with protocols for safety, but we're doing virtual listing appointments. We're doing virtual showings. So if you're interested in seeing a home but don't want to leave your house, reach out to us. We could take you there. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.